Hey, welcome to Croc Chat. I'm Mark Perpetua, and today I have with me two little crocodilians. I have both an alligator and a crocodile. It seems like the most often asked question about these animals is how do you tell which one is which? And I'm not talking about whether it'll see you later or in a while. And I know you're probably saying right now, there are so many videos and illustrations out there already. Why do we need another? But bear with me. You see, the group crocodilian has 27 different species in it. And there's enough variation that the illustrations and videos that are out there are just way too overgeneralized or simplified. I mean, I see people all the time on social media making mistakes on identifications because these rules don't fit in some of the crocodilians that are sort of in between. So today, I want to talk about those generalized rules, but also go over when or what situations they might not work in. The first two generalizations to go over that are most often used when identifying alligator versus crocodile are head shape and tooth placement. So I'm going to use these two skulls that I have here to go over those. This here is the skull of a good size American alligator. And American alligators have a really broad head shape. If you look at them in this position, most people will describe it as having a U shape because the front is wide and rounded. The other thing to look at an alligator is the tooth placement of the teeth on the lower jaw. And when alligators close their mouth, we see upper teeth hanging outside, but the lower teeth fit neatly inside the upper jaw into little pits, and they are hidden from view. So on an alligator, U-shaped nose, broad and rounded, and bottom teeth hidden from view when the mouth is closed. Put down the alligator skull. I have a small skull from a small to medium-sized Nile crocodile here. And with crocodiles, we typically say their nose is much more pointed. It tapers very, very quickly and is very narrow in the front. And because of that, most people will describe it as a V shape when we hold it in this position. Also, as far as tooth placement is concerned, with the narrower snout, there's a lot of notches or grooves in the outside of the upper jaw. So when they close their mouth, not only do we see their upper teeth, but we see a lot of the lower teeth on the outside as well. In fact, if we count back from the front, the fourth tooth back on the lower jaw is the largest tooth in the crocodile's lower jaw, and it sticks up in a big notch right behind the nose. So, head shape and tooth placement can often be used when looking at alligator versus crocodile, but sometimes there are other crocodilians that just don't want to play by the rules. If we're going to talk about alligators, are we just talking about American alligators and Chinese alligators, or are we going to include the entire family? The family Alligatoridae includes 6 species of caiman. And as we can see here, the common caiman has a nose that's narrower than an alligator's, but not quite as pointy as the crocodile's is. And this is a picture, again, of a common caiman, but they're also called spectacled caiman due to a bony ridge that fits between their eye sockets, giving them the appearance of wearing a pair of spectacles or glasses. So some people would add another generalized rule that, okay, if we want to tell if it's a crocodile, alligator, or caiman, we can tell if it's a caiman by looking at that bony ridge. But not every species of caiman has the bony ridge either. Here's a picture of a dwarf caiman. And dwarf caimans are known as well as smooth-fronted caimans because they have a smooth forehead without the bony ridge, but they also have that in-between, narrower than an alligator snout. And also, if you look at this individual, you can see their teeth don't always play by the rules. This individual has some of its front lower teeth going a little sideways and pointing out to the side. Another generalized rule we'll hear is that crocodiles are larger than alligators. And while this may be true for the better known species, such as saltwater crocodiles, Nile crocodiles, Orinoco crocodiles, and even our own American crocodile, it's not true for all species. This is Tiki. Tiki is a Moralex crocodile from Mexico, and that's a species that only grows to about 10 feet in length when full grown. And That's smaller than some of the biggest American alligators. In fact, the smallest of all crocodile species is the African dwarf crocodile, which reaches a total length of only 5 feet long when fully grown. It is also assumed that crocodiles prefer salt water while alligators can only be found in fresh water. And this, again, is a rule that's not going to work for all 27 species. In fact, the only crocodiles that prefer to spend more time in salt water than fresh are the saltwater crocodile and the American crocodile. All the others are found in rivers, lakes, swamps, just like the American alligator. Tiki, again, is another example of a crocodile species that lives inland in Mexico and is found in freshwater habitats. Also, animals wander, and it is completely normal to find an alligator on the beach or swimming in the surf out in salt water from time to time. The last generalized rule to go over is the animal's color. Large alligators grow to be almost all black or dark gray in color, and many species of crocodiles do appear to be much lighter. However, once again, not every species follows the rule. African dwarf crocodiles are as dark as alligators when they're fully grown. Also, if we're going to include the entire family, we have to consider the caimans again as part of the Alligatoridae family. And as you can see in this picture, we have a very golden colored caiman that was found as an invasive in the Florida Everglades. Another important thing to mention on this picture is look how the water level around its nose gives it appearance of being much narrower than it really is. So sometimes people will also mistake one for the other due to the habitat affecting the appearance because we can't see all of it clearly. It's important to mention that the only place in the wild that you'll find alligators and crocodiles living together is in the south half of Florida. It's where the range of the American alligator overlaps with the range of the American crocodile. And this is probably where those generalized rules started when it was just a one-on-one comparison. But nowadays, thanks to the internet, people try to apply them worldwide. And in a group, the crocodilians have 27 different species with enough variation to show that those rules do not generally apply to all of them. So I hope you enjoyed taking a deeper look at the question of what makes a crocodile different from an alligator. And until next time, later, Gator.